As I've gotten older, a little more grayer in the old chin, I've realized that certainty takes away from nuance, it takes away from curiosity, it takes away from growth. And it's what we talked about in our last week's episode of our podcast, the Dan and Can podcast, where we're talking about spiritual bypassing and a few other odds and ends and tangents we went down. And we were talking about in our faith was probably the time in life we were the most certain. We were the most certain we had the truth. We were most certain we had the answers to everything. And granted, the answer was always Jesus or God to most any of the inquiries we had, or just give it over to Jesus and God. The spiritual bypassing part of everything. Avoidance, not dealing with anything, not even thinking about anything, just give it over to Him. His ways are mysterious and He'll answer it and you'll understand it later in life, or if not by then, definitely by the time you reach heaven. And it was just pushing the can down the road a little bit more. And I realized after deconstruction, and I think a lot of people have understood this too, that the more you know, the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know and how little you have learned. There's so much information out there. It's one of the catch-22s of growing and understanding things, is that you start to understand how vast everything really is and how less certainty you have in life. And it's one of the beautiful things too, that you can always continue to pursue growth and knowledge and learning. But as you keep doing that, your certainty definitely lessens. It doesn't increase by any means. And I guess a little rule I take away, and something we kind of learned over these last few years and shedding of my natural colored beard, is that it's better to be curious than to be certain.